that other people do it, though the basic idea is that it is the fault of other people because they make life so complicated, so difficult that I cannot enjoy myself. Now the concept of Maya says that that is not so. I make my own experiences. I create my world. Is it possible that I create my world? Why is it that the modern science is saying the same thing? I won't take any other aspect of modern science, excepting this, that they are trying to prove that experiencer, like a dreamer, and his dream are not two separate things, they are one and the same. So my daily experience and I are not two different things, they are one and the same. So if I do wish to find out what Maya is, I need to look at my own experiences. What do my experiences give me? As I said before, they give me, let us say, to begin with, tremendous desire to play around as a child, tremendous desire to enjoy as a young person, tremendous desire and curiosity to know what the world is about, and finally, as I move on in life, and my hair become white, and I've seen enough of this universe, I start grumbling. I start saying, well, I haven't got what I wanted to get from the world. So the only answer is to find out whether there is a devil behind this universe who has created it in such a way that I am not supposed to enjoy life, which my deepest desire tries to convince me about. So the concept of Maya, which was discovered in ancient India, which is the gift of India to the whole world of human beings who wish to understand why the world is the way it is to use this concept As I said, if I wish to understand my life, myself, my experiences, and not be completely dissatisfied, I need to ask myself, why do I dream the way I dream? Is there somebody else present within me who is dreaming my dreams? Or is it that I create them in some way? Vedanta, especially Advaita Vedanta, says that I, as an experiencer, am always creating my own experiences. Is there any proof? Is there any proof that this is a fact or this is the truth? There are very simple ways of understanding this. There are many species on this earth. Each species experiences this world according to their own way of looking at it, or according to the psychophysical system that they live in. Take some of the species. We believe that we live in a public world. We believe that we live in a real world. And we believe that my experience gives me absolute truth. Each one of us has that belief. We wouldn't survive without believing that. But then we need to ask ourselves whether there is something strange about our belief system. So we bring in, let us say, a cat, which is what I think of most of the time. I bring a cat inside this auditorium, and there are all kinds of colors here. And I ask the cat, what do you see? The cat says, I see only grey. How is it possible, if there is an absolute truth about the many colors being present from the human point of view, how is it that the cat sees only grey? Is it a public universe or is it a private universe? I bring some other species also. I can bring an eagle, and an eagle sees something which I don't see. So what kind of a universe is it? Is it possible that each one of us lives in a very closed system. And that closed system gives me very limited understanding, very limited knowledge of the world around, and I'm always blaming the world rather than blaming myself, rather than looking within myself and ask myself, how is it that my nervous system, my psychophysical system gives me experiences which I am never satisfied with. I take it for granted that most of us, after passing through life as young people, try to ask questions like, what is experience supposed to give me? And what do I have to do with my experience? Usually we think, I open my eyes and the world is there. I did nothing to the world. I saw it the way it is. So the way it is not accepted in our deepest psychology, which is Advaita Vedanta. The world is not what it is the way I want to believe it is, or it is the way I experience it is. There's another simple way of understanding. How do I experience the world? I experience it through my nervous system. What is my nervous system? I don't know whether everyone knows about it, but my nervous system is very limited. It has different centers of scent and sight and hearing, and there is something called attention, and attention is something that points to I pay attention. As you tell every child, pay attention, which means that you are asking the child to do something, to create something, or to pay attention and focus some kind of a light from within. So this focusing of light from within is what Vedanta talks about. You have heard many lectures and you have heard the word Atman. This focusing the light within, which is so common. I tell everyone, especially small children, when they come to school and when they are naughty and when they are running around, every parent or every teacher, everyone would say, pay attention. So if paying attention is so central to our life, then paying attention means it's a kind of light which comes from within. I'm not telling the child to pay attention, to borrow it from somewhere outside, and then focus that light on whatever the child is trying to study. I'm trying to tell the child that there is a light inherent in the child's mind or nervous system or wherever it is, and I am asking the child to gather that light and focus it on a particular object or on a particular experience or on a particular subject, meaning thereby that the child will see more. Please pay attention to that idea. The child will see more, the child will understand more, the child will get more out of the experience because he is gathering his light. Now this light, we take it for granted. This is light, of course. It has to fall on something, on the object, and then I'll see it. So what about the light within? I take it for granted the light within is secondary. Well, Advaita Vedanta says, or Vedanta, other Vedantas also, there is Dvaita, there is Vishishta Dvaita, and there is Advaita. All three say that the light is within, and you are supposed to focus it. Now, do I know how to focus it? Of course. I learned from childhood to focus my attention on food, on sleep, on daily objects, on daily experiences, but is that a focused light? Or is it scattered? Is it something like a torch which is going all the way or which is oscillating most of the time? Look within, and it is very clear that it is being oscillated all the time. Through what? Oscillated because the world is oscillating it, or is it that I have no control? If I have no control over my own attention, then whose fault is it? And if that oscillating attention or non-focused attention falls on my experiences and the experiences start bothering me, who can I blame? I can't blame anyone. Advaita Vedanta says the only thing necessary for you is to pay attention to how you experience, why you experience. How you experience is what physiology, the science of physiology, anatomy, nervous science, neurology, they are all trying to give me some idea how I experience this world. There is, let us take for granted, there is an object outside, and I pay attention to that. But how do I receive it? Does the object go inside my nervous system, or is it a little more mysterious than that? Because we know that the world is huge and it can travel into my nervous system. What is traveling? Well, we say the light falling from the sun falls on the object and then it travels through the retina, goes to the nervous system. Then after that, what happens? I pay attention. If I don't pay attention, there's no experience. That's not a very difficult idea to understand. I pay attention, therefore I experience. Do I change my experience, whatever is coming from outside, in the light of my previous experiences or not? I change my experiences in the light of previous experiences because I have a fund of past knowledge, past impressions, which are called in Sanskrit samskaras. These samskaras are always present. You can call them subconscious, unconscious. In modern psychology in the West, they have recently discovered that human beings don't function only at the conscious level. There is a huge collection of subconscious impressions and unconscious impressions which are always there and which are always enameling my present experience, without my knowledge or with my knowledge? Without my knowledge. Because I don't pay attention to my own subconscious or unconscious, since I'm always busy with the conscious level, and I believe that is where I'll get absolute truth, absolute bliss, absolute truth, absolute knowledge. The problem is that I don't, and this is called Maya. Maya is not something that is trying to tell you that the world is unreal. Maya is something that is trying to tell you that your power of understanding is very limited, because your attention is oscillating, you are not in control of your attention. Am I? I can ask myself, am I in charge of my own attention? Right now I'm speaking, and all of you are trying to pay attention, but then if you look within, you will see your mind wandering here and there. So I am not really capable of paying focused attention, which can happen only if I use special methods of training my own mind, my own attention. Only then it is possible to pay full attention to whatever I am experiencing. Since I do not pay full attention to my experiences, instead of giving me truth, they give me what is called dissatisfaction. Because Maya tries to tell you that you participate in your experiences, and therefore the only way to understand is to look within your own attention and try to train it, and then try to focus it on whatever you want to experience and penetrate to the very core of any object, as we heard. Penetrate to the core of any object, any experience, anything, and you will get what is called Satchit Ananda, which is the last word in our psychology. Our psychology says, I am the source of everything. This world, or science says, matter is the source of all reality. Now between these two, I have to choose. If I give all reality to the world by paying focused attention to the world will become more and more real. I, in comparison, will become less and less real. And if I pay attention to my own light, which is mine to begin with, which I am not creating, which seems to be something identical with myself, I will become more powerful in comparison to the world outside. I have to choose between these two. Both sides there is truth. The universe, the cosmos, as we experience it, is also based on truth. It is not unreal. I also am not based on unreality. Both are truth, but both are at the surface level if I pay attention only to the conscious level. I need to take charge of my own light, make it more and more focused, so that it does not give me all kinds of misconceptions or a feeling of dissatisfaction, because that comes from very limited experiences. I'll give you a story, maybe that will make it more clear. I give this story very often. There are many people who must have heard it before. There is a woodcutter who goes to the woods to cut wood. He's got 4 donkeys. And suddenly he notices that the night has come and he has to spend the night in the forest. He's got a little bit of rope, so he ties 2 donkeys with the rope to a tree and doesn't know what to do with the other 2 because they'll wander away and he doesn't want that. So suddenly, trying to find a solution, he sees a sadhu sitting somewhere or somebody, and he goes to him and asks him, can you give me a solution? What do? I want to sleep, I am tired, and these 2 donkeys also I don't want to lose. What should I do? He said, very simple, take them to a tree and make believe that you are tying them to the tree. So he says, will it work? He says, of course, they are donkeys, it will work. So he takes them to the other tree and makes believe that he is tying around their neck as well as tying the rope to the tree. And he goes off to sleep. Early in the morning, he goes and opens the rope for the 2 donkeys and they move away. But the other 2 don't budge. So he says, what is this? They are not tied and they don't budge. So he runs to the sadhu again and says, what's the problem? Why don't they move? I have been beating them, they don't move. So he says, well, did you untie them? He says, because they believe, if they believe they are tied, naturally you have to untie them because they are donkeys and you are a human being. So he says, all right, he goes there and then tries to make believe that he's untying them, and good enough, they start moving. So what is it that we are supposed to learn from that? That we are more or less our Vedanta says, I am free. I am not only free, I am the source of all my experiences. You want to change your experiences? You can. But then, is it very simple? Well, it's not very simple because you have come from far away. How far away? From the Indian point of view, 84 lakhs of, what do they call? Lakh Churasi. All right, that. And the West, what does it say? Of course, all the species and all the past of the species is present right here in your skeleton, in your bones, in your blood, in your, as we were listening to the scientific lecture, the bosons and what are the other things. We are exactly the same even today. If we are exactly the same even today, then we have a huge past. And that huge past, if I don't understand it, and if I do not want to bring it into consideration, is enveloping, is enameling all my experiences without my conscious knowledge, and I put all the eggs in the same basket, my conscious level, which is like the tip of the iceberg. I hope you know what the tip of the iceberg is. Most of the iceberg is under the sea, and the tip is visible. So the tip of the iceberg within me is my I am. So this I am connected to the body and a little bit to the nervous system, not much connected to the nervous system because I'm unaware. I don't even know what is there in my brain. Nobody can think of oneself in terms of the brain or in terms of the heart, in terms of kidneys. Do I think of myself like that? Not at all. So what am I? A tremendous question, a tremendous inquiry, a tremendous struggle. Am I prepared to do that struggle? Well, if I am, there is a way, as we heard, there are many ways, not just one, there are many ways of going straight or going around or wherever. There's Bhakti Yoga, Raja Yoga, Karma Yoga, Jnana Yoga. I can combine all of them. I can do all this, but who will motivate me? The greatest problem in the world today, or especially in India today, is I'm asking somebody else to come and motivate me. Is it possible? I want objects to motivate me. I want stimulants to motivate me because I feel I cannot motivate myself. Why not? You go to the doctor, you're fat. I'm just taking for granted. You're fat, you go to the doctor and you say, well, I need to lose all this. And he says, all right, here is the regimen. You get up at 4 o'clock and then you go for a run 10 miles. Then you come back and take a little bit of something. and then you live like that and you do all this. And he comes home and he says, how can I do it? No motivation. So I am asking, who to motivate me? Oh God, we can pray to God and God should motivate me, or more better than that, God should pick me by the hand and take me across. Across where? We never ask these questions. We never try to understand that Maya is what we live in, day out, and it is the way we experience ourselves, it is the way we experience this world, which is full of all kinds of contradictions. I'm looking for contradictions out there, not realizing that I create contradictions. There's a contradiction which is called the idea of Viyoga. We are given 4 yogas. Yoga means to join together. Join what? What to what? Join me as an integrated personality so that I can function as one pointed person. But I don't. So what am I divided against? Another inquiry. I can say, oh, I am divided against the universe. The universe is out there, I am in here, and I find that there is a tremendous barrier which I cannot cross. I can't trust anyone. I cannot give my whatever I think to people around because they won't accept it. Why won't they accept it? And why is it that I am asking the world to give me a guarantee for being what I am? I ask other people, what do you think I am? What do you think I should look like? Do you think my dress is beautiful? Do you think my face is beautiful? We are asking for this appreciation from outside all the time to give me a sense of identity. Is it possible? Isn't that Maya? Isn't that unreal? To ask the world to give me a sense of greatness or a sense of being whatever, beautiful or whatever you like to call it, how is it possible? Do I exist in my own right? Or is it that the world is supposed to give me a sense of existence or a sense of happiness or a sense of being intelligent? I am asking the books to give me intelligence. Is it possible? I am asking other people to appreciate me. Is it possible? Do we really care? Do I care how you behave and how you look? So why should the world care? Why should the world give me the reality which is mine by birthright? Vedanta talks about that. Advaita Vedanta especially says, better turn around, look at yourself. You have the power of attention. It is your own light. Don't think power of attention can come from outside. It can neither come from objects, nor can it come from books, nor can it come from teachers, nor can it come from God. It comes from within. If there is a God, that God is within. So instead of that, if I am running outside all the time, that is what is called Maya in Vedanta.